And what about Joey Logano making his first ever start? How about the drivers who won their first NASCAR Nationwide Series race in their first start? Some pretty impressive names there. How about Dale Earnhardt Sr. back in 1982 at Daytona? Terry Labonte, two guys did it here. Ricky Rudd and Joe Ruttman at the Monster Mile, of course. And Kurt Busch won in his very first start at Texas in 2006.
Well, Jamie, what's going on with that 20 car?
Well, you guys, Joe Gibbs is the man who brought Joey Logano up in this development series the last 3 years. And when the green flag dropped for Joey's first race here, Joe Gibbs closed his eyes and clenched his fist and held them that way for the first lap, watching, I'm sure, hoping and praying that his driver's going to be all right in his debut here at Dover.
And now Logano falling back into the clutches of Greg Biffle.
Okay, now here's a veteran driver racing a rookie hard early in the race. We talked about this, how these rookies were, not supposed to race the veterans. The veterans racing the rookie here.
Well, I think that the veteran knows the capability of this rookie, and he knows that he's given enough room. But also, I really don't think Greg's car, Greg Biffle we're talking here in the 16 car, is exactly where he wants it right now. I see a little smoke coming off the right rear tire. Andy, that tells me he doesn't have his car handling where he wants it right now.
That is 7th, 8th, and 9th. 18-year-old Landon Castle in the 5 car. 18-year-old Joey Logano in the 20. Do you see a theme going here, guys? Sort of a youth movement, and behind him is the veteran Greg Biffle.
Joey Logano making his first pit stop in the Nationwide Series. They're going to try to free that car's a little bit free getting into the corners. They're going to raise the track bar, air pressure, and a wedge adjustment, guys.
Race off of pit road. Brad Coleman gaining 8 positions. We'll talk about some of the pit strategy. There's Joey Logano back 4, making his first competitive pit stop.
But look at Logano down there, the 20 car. He's coming from the back of the pack, back up through there. He had some left front fender damage. The crew brought him back down pit road, beat the left front fender out, put him back on the racetrack, and now he's got the downforce back, and he's charging back up through the pack now.
More on Joey Logano with Shannon.
Yeah, guys, you're right. He did have some problems. Restarted 28th, and as you can see, and as you just said, definitely making his way through the field. I just spoke with Dave Rogers, asked him about that damage on that car. He said, it's fine. We have fixed it. He told me that he thinks Joey is doing a great job out there, and it's really confident that his driver can make the move back up front.
Shannon, that car restarted in 28th position, and now he has gained all the way up to 14th. And folks, remember, he is 18 years old and he's making his very first ever NASCAR Nationwide Series start here at this racetrack today.
That's pretty impressive that he's able to stay out of trouble and keep his composure at such a young age, and doing a great job moving up through the field.
18-year-old phenom Joey Logano has had an eventful day thus far. Everyone patting him on the back, welcoming him to the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Qualified 9th, and on the first pit stop, well, a little bit of a fender bump there for the left front on the 20 car. Started driving that car really hard, made the pit stop, and had to come all the way back from 28th position following that stop and clicking them off 1 car per lap over the last 18 laps. And now Joey Logano has again driven that car back into the top 10. And there is Joey Logano all the way from 28th back to 10th in 18 laps. Shannon.
Yeah, Doc, the one thing that's been constant with this number 20 team is, of course, their crew chief, Dave Rogers. Now, Rogers' philosophy is, if you're happy with what you did yesterday, then you haven't done anything great today. And, of course, this week he faced his biggest challenge, and that was that new driver, the new driver, Joey Logano. He was certainly ready for this race to start. He told me this week, as soon as they fire those engines, all the hype is gone. When he buckles in, then it's time for Logano to prove that he can do something on the track. And his first words to his driver before he pulled out for first practice yesterday, the talk is done, now it's time to get it done. You see Joey Logano getting it done right now.
Shannon, thank you. A very remarkable, very poised young man, much beyond his years of 18. He's been racing since he was 7 years old. Of course, he won the championship of the NASCAR Camping World Series East a year ago and won a 500-mile ARCA event back in May, dominating there. And you see him inside there just right on top of that steering wheel.
Looks like Rusty Wallace used to drive. Get up on top of that wheel.
Look at those eyeballs. I mean, he is so focused. He's got his head right against that wheel. He is just very, very focused and very smooth. I don't see him back steering much. That car looks like it's handling really good.
How about Joey Logano, right side of your screen, first time ever in a NASCAR Nationwide Series car. Is this 18-year-old kid impressive or what?
He's been solid as a rock. He stayed out of trouble. He's right here in position for a great finish.
You know, I don't care if he's in one of the best. Got to be able to steer it and drive it and maneuver it through the traffic, and he hasn't hit anything. One little dent on pit road, and that's been it. Shannon.
Yeah, and you also have to say a lot for Dave Rogers, his crew chief's leadership skills, talking his drivers through every lap of this race so far. Joey Logano's basically telling his crew chief that these guys are beating him off one. So Dave just reassuring him, letting him know that he needs to be there at the end. You know, Dave Rogers told me his biggest concern for Joey Logano in his first race today was that he enjoyed it. He said you can never do your first race again, and I just want him to walk away with a good feeling today.
His nickname is Sliced Bread. Former two-time series champion Randy LaJoie, another Connecticut native, named him that when he walked in the shop one day and said, "Son, we're going to call you Sliced Bread." Everybody said, "You're the next best thing," said Sliced Bread, and he laughed about it, but that nickname has stuck because this young man, Joey Logano, is very, very talented.
Every time we see him, the 18 and the 20.
They're doing a lot of things right. It's never just one thing. It's always a combination. These cars are very complex.
What about Joey Logano running 6? You know he wants to be in 5th to say I got my first top 5. But it looks like if it stays this way, he's going to bring home a 6th place finish. And great run for the kid,
He's still going to have to hold off Brad Keselowski. He's making a move on him here.
Joey Logano holds on to get a 6th place finish in his very first start.
Joey Logano, who finished 6th today. Joey, first of all, Casey came with some words for you afterwards. What conversation ensued there?
I just want to know how I did and congratulate me for, I don't know, I guess a 6th place finish, which ain't much in my book, but I had a decent car. The GameStop car was pretty good, but I screwed up in the pits early on. Just put myself in a position I didn't need to. Got there in the pit stall and didn't angle out like I needed to, and got our left front fender bent in there a little bit. But besides that, you know, team did great. I think we could have took 2 and held up there. 64 held up pretty good up there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in Nashville. Taking the next place.
Looks like a good start for Joey Logano right here at Dover.